David Chu goes through the corner up towards San Francisco. That's the completion of sector number 1. So we've done the most racing so far now, with quite a few corners already ticked off with 8 laps to go. Ooh, and somebody has gone wrong.
Well, he was the man with the hits the 98 with the rear bumper. Now he's got the front bumper gone.
He's got no rear bumper. He's got no front now. And unfortunately, down at Lisboa, straight on a fairly typical lift.
And the one car hole is blocked by this car, so he has to stop and wait.
That's a really poorly car now, isn't it? It's very poorly indeed. This is the battle for second place with David Chu and Helder Assenkau.
And following is Brian Lee and Liu Yang. So 2, 3, 4, 5 is very, very close, but Zhang Zijiang has been able to pull a good almost 2-second gap right now.
Look at the leader already from pole position, Zhang Zijiang, already with a mighty lead as he makes his way through these testing, demanding corners. Police and Moorish up towards the long left-hander in a moment of Donna Maria. That was close. Really pushing on this opening lap. If he does dare to look in the mirrors, he'll realise that on this opening lap of the restart, he's got a very, very nice gap over the battle for second place. And the battle for second place, they're going to hold themselves up, aren't they? Because they're going so close, they're not able to bring down the gap between themselves and the running away Zhang Zijiang.
Got another bit of quick news for you. Eric Kwong in the number 23. He's one of the guys I spoke to, has just come into the pit, and it looks as though it's probably terminal because he was worried about the radiator or the front of the car. When I spoke to him. Other bit of news, I spoke to Brian Lee, the man in fourth place. He said the track was a little bit greasy, a little bit slippier than yesterday. That was the only thing, but other than that, it was a thumbs up.
They are first out on the circuit today, and they've not been first on circuit thus far over the 2 days that we've had for the Macau Grand Prix. Motorcycles normally open the activity of the day, so they begin to clean the dust away, the overnight dust from when they're public roads, and another lap is completed. 7 laps to go now, and this battle for second place continues to rage with David Chu just leading from Helder Assenkau, cars 88 and 77.
That's going to be a very, very tight battle.
Helder Assenkau having a look now, dives down onto the inside on the run down towards Lisboa. Looks as if Helder Assenkau has got second place.
He got it.
Superb work. So a change for second place. Helder Assenkau goes ahead of David Chu, who slots in behind in second place. David Chu, the winner of the Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup here at Macau last year, now in third position behind Helder Assenkau. Now, Helder Assenkau has been able to get past David Chu. He's able to pull away already a little bit from the third place car.
It's a home track for him, so the sector 2 up in the mountainside should be just like driving home every day.
Albeit slightly quicker than his homeward journey from work, and now he's got quite a tough mountain to climb, not just the mountain section of the Gaia circuit, but also closing up the gap between himself and the race leader Zhang Zijiang, who was 5 seconds ahead at the completion of the last lap. When they came through, it was David Chu in second place. Now Helder Assenkau has got to make up 5 seconds on the race leader. It's one thing to catch, it's going to be another one to pass as well. David Chu is staying with Helder Assenkau, but he's also got to look in his mirrors because Brian Lee is right there behind.
Yes, Brian Lee is catching up quite quickly, and as you go into the Donna Maria, if you can look at, a lot of the cars will lock up the rear brakes for a little bit, and then that's the nature of these front-wheel drive cars.
It's a long left-hander, isn't it?
Yes, very long. It actually looks like a double apex.
Yeah. Seems to never come to an end, and it does, and you're rewarded at the end of it by the tightest hairpin in the world, the Melco hairpin. They make their way through the corner, no overtaking through the Melco hairpin, not surprisingly, and they thread their way down. And not surprisingly as well, overall best second sector for the race leader, car 66, Zhang Zijiang. 2 second places in the opening round. 4 rounds in total, and after you've been competing here at Macau, it'll be a completely different race weekend for meeting 3, won't it?
Yes, actually, their first race in England is actually a street circuit they've tried, and so it gives some street data. I've been spoken to some of the drivers. They said, you know, Macau's road has just been fantastic as a street circuit. Not as bumpy. It's properly done every year. It's a lot of work through the government and AAMC.
I'm listening to a lot of feedback saying how less bumpy it is this year compared to previous years, and that's a hard feat to achieve given that it's a roadway 360.
Oh, there's the battle again.
We've got the 39 car coming to a stop. That's Jimmy Chu, the Hong Kong driver, in his D50 TCR. Car number 39 has come to a stop.
Apparently there's no body damage. Looks like could be a mechanical problem.
It's come to a stop there. Doesn't appear to have hit anything, but it certainly will need to be recovered from where it's come to a stop. Still, we've got that indication here on screen that it's slippery between Marshall's Post 1 and 1A down at Reservoir. And we've got now 6 laps to go for the race leader. We've got a recovery that's required out on circuit. That's not going to be a cause of a race stoppage, I wouldn't have thought, but the car does need to move, doesn't it?
Yeah, that car is parked in that place. It definitely needs to move, and I think the marshals will have it done very quickly. You see a yellow flag waving right there.
Fastest lap of the race, not surprisingly, for our race leader, who comes across that stricken car. There are waved yellows to warn him, but it was still a little bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, because when you go up there, you actually can't see what's going on.
It's blind.
It's blind, and you go up there, suddenly you see a car there. So the marshal has done a great job of telling the drivers, signaling what's wrong there.
Well, one car has got through without a problem, and what a huge advantage he has over the second place car, who is now on his own as well. Helder Asenkow in second place has broken away from David Chu, and a deficit of 8 seconds over the race leader at the conclusion of the last lap.
And Zhang Zicheng has just done the fastest lap of the race, 2 minutes 40.628. That's just less than a second in qualifying.
Third on the podium last year in the Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup, and at the moment looks on course for a top step of the podium, the first podium of the weekend for the 64th Macau Grand Prix. A very warm welcome to the 64th Macau Grand Prix. This is the first race of the day if you're just tuning in, the Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup. First time of asking to get the race underway after the rolling start. Unfortunately got no further than turn 1. Kenneth looked from the inside of row 2 of the grid, losing the car, cold tyres, and quite a few cars collecting him for the first time of asking from the start, and then the restart has seen the advantage instantly going the way of Zhang Zicheng in car number 66, the car you're looking at now, in splendid isolation. Now, tell me, from a racing driver's point of view, it's lovely to be out on your own at the front of the field. Would you rather be having a good close battle with someone else, or would you rather be leading a race like this?
Well, if I can lead a race like this, I will probably do this. But honestly, if you are having a battle, that win will be much, much more tasty.
It will mean so much more, won't it, to be on the top step of the podium. He will be elated whatever happens if he's on the top step of the podium, but at the moment he's pretty much on his own. Not so the story further down the order.
Oh no, number 58 going into the fourth corner.
And very, very close. This is the battle for 10th place overall. Yu Kam Cheong, that was in car number 58. And
oh, I just see a bumper fly off on San Francisco.
A little bit of bodywork flying off the number 58 car, and they came across the line with the number 58 car, Yu Kam Cheong, in 10th place, and Michael Choi in 11th in car number 68. Yeah, they do rather come back a little bit battered and a little bit bruised at the end of this, but at Macau, that's tin top racing, isn't it?
Exactly. In Macau, anything happens, as long as the car can drive, you keep driving.
As long as the car can drive, you keep driving. William Knock here in the commentary box with me, alongside Jonathan Green, our roving pit reporter.
I'm loving it.
Loving every minute of it. So
That's just great to get up close. And the other thing is really having a look inside the cockpits of these cars. They're pretty trick, William. I hadn't realised just how sophisticated a car these Synovas are.
It is. It's based on the TCR specs, so
yeah,
it's
nice.
very sophisticated with all the TCR specs in there and the sequential gearbox and all that. It's just
proper racing car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very proper. Very, very proper.
Wanjing Sun is the #1 car, having that close battle with Yu Kapcheong in car number 58, albeit got a little bit too close then, didn't it? And now they've been able to pull away off it. So #1, Wanjing Sun, pulls away a little bit in that battle for what will be 9th place, as car number 77, Helder Asenkau, and the race leader, Jianju Chang, have now completed another lap, and the top 3 have all been through. The advantage for the race leader, 10.7 seconds over Helder Asenkau, which for the race leader, William, is absolutely superb. He can pick his lines, he can take things easy, he can be mechanically sympathetic as well.
Yes, I'm looking at the Jianju Chang's racing line there. He isn't that close to the walls anymore. He knows he has 10 seconds and 3 more laps to go. He's playing it safe. I can see he's playing it safe compared to yesterday's qualifying. His mirror was basically kissing every wall.
Really pushing on in qualifying to take pole position, car number 66, Jianju Chang, and the time achieved to take pole position yesterday was a 2:39.145, and today in race they're doing 41s, 2:41.196 the last lap for the race leader, 2:40.628 the fastest lap of the race so far for the race leader, Helder Asenkau. You're looking at now in 2nd place, a gap in front and a gap behind. That's got to be the most perfect situation, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Really but now if you look at Asenkau, he is really, really pushing his limits.
Trying to bring down the gap between himself and the race leader. 10.7 seconds it was at the end of the last lap. Put in a personal best on the last lap, a 2:42.228 in his pursuit of the race leader, but the last lap for the race leader was a 2:41.196. So however much Helder Asenkau is pushing on, not able to make an indentation. I'm surprised that car is still there.
Personally, I think all the drivers already know that car is there and is not a very high-speed exit corner, so it's quite apparent. And I think to stop the race or pull it off. Oh, what happened?
What happened on the run up towards the Melco hairpin? There's no overtaking here, but this is drama in the first race of the weekend.
Oh my God, that's a race leader.
Top 3 all bunching up together behind a race leader who has a problem, a massive problem.
Oh my God.
No longer the race leader as he pulls out the way. Helder Asenkau inherits the lead. And oh my goodness,
David Chu chasing him really, really close right behind. So the last 3 laps here is going to be really, really exciting battle. That's a very, very disappointment for Jianju Chang and the team of Chongqing, both cars out of the race.
Jianju Chang
was the leading
with some kind of mechanical problem, and the car just slowed, and then no overtaking can happen before the Melco hairpin. So Helder Asenkau and David Chu all of a sudden were right there behind, and what was the battle for 2nd place now becomes the battle for the lead.
And Brian Lee from Taipei has just got into the podium position, which he has always been dreaming of that since he was a kid.
So Helder Asenkau, David Chu and Brian Lee, the top 3, as you're looking at the new race leader. Now, I wonder what trouble befell. There's trouble for the car.
Number 58.
Previously, we saw the number 58 car having a very close battle.
He is definitely very, very unhappy there.
What a disappointment. Leading, fastest lap, and leading by some considerable margin as well.
And headed over the weekend, huh?
I know. Huge disappointment.
But that's racing.
Yeah, no, and that's Macau too. Ah!
That was the number 58 car that we saw going side by side with the number 1 car of Wanjing Sun. And then, just getting it all wrong, bashing the wall at Macau can never end well. Helder Asenkau, it is now that leads. David Chu in 2nd place, our winner from last year in 2nd place. And Brian Lee makes it into a podium position. 3 laps to go, including the lap that they're on. and Helder Assenkow.
And Henry Lee Jr. is in fourth. He hasn't
Come
raced in the
on,
car for 10
Henry.
years. Come on, Henry.
Henry Lee Jr.
Wow.
started on the
He
inside
hasn't
of
got
row
rusty
5.
at all,
He
isn't he?
hasn't got rusty.
He's still there. That is in his interview pre-race. I still got it. I remember what he said.
He has still got it. Started on row 5 after qualifying. And now up there in 4th place, just outside the podium positions. Helder Assenkow from Macau. Car number 77, the Sonova D50 TCR of Helder Assenkow. Pushes on. And at the completion of this lap, there'll be just 2 laps to go before we have our first podium of the weekend. It will be for the Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup. Helder Assenkow up towards the place where he took the lead of the race. They all bunched up behind the very, very slow erstwhile race leader, pole position driver, Jiangju Chang, who unfortunately, some kind of a car problem caused the car to slow.
I suspect it's a radiator problem again.
Yeah, it could be.
It seems to be the radiator seems to be the overheating. The problem seems to be the issue with a lot of these Sonova cars over from practice and qualifying and the race. So let's see. We'll have a chat with him afterwards and see what happens over there.
I think that car might now be slightly more than a bit of tape required on the car. The 58 car has probably been in the wars. That's Yu Cam Cheong. And although they've been having a look at the car down in pit lane, I had a feeling they might be sending it back out onto the track. I think they have. That's number 77. 2 laps to go for our race leader, Helder Assenkow.
3.5 seconds.
3.545 of a second the advantage over David Chu in 2nd place, Brian Lee in 3rd place. Here they go then.
3.5 seconds in Macau isn't much.
It isn't much.
It isn't much in Macau. Oh, there's another car slowing down.
Well, I wonder if that's the returning number 58 car of Yu Cam Cheong, who I think was just released from pit lane and has rejoined after a check over from the team. That car has probably been in the wars. It's bashed the wall, it's been side by side, it's got bits of bodywork missing, it's got bits of bodywork hanging off as well, but I think it's been sent back onto the circuit. So we'll check that to make sure that we've got the right car in just a couple of moments. It is the outlap, yeah, so 58 has been sent back out on circuit in 12th place at the moment. In 1st place is Helder Assenkow.
The local Macau hero seems like to build quite a good confidence of the lead. I think he extended his lead a little bit. It was 3.5 seconds. I think we'll come back about 4 seconds.
Looking very pacey throughout this weekend has Helder Assenkow, qualified in 4th place yesterday. So the outside of row number 2. And Helder Assenkow now leads. 8 laps completed. 2 laps to go, including the lap that they're on. And the advantage 3.5 seconds at the conclusion of the last lap. Past that stricken number 39 car once again.
I think his heart is actually pumping right now. Look at what happened to Zhang Zichang.
Yes. He's got to be thinking about it.
Anything can happen, can't it? As so often it does. Up towards the scene of taking the lead. Just a couple of laps ago, Helder Assenkow is able to pick his line now. Keep it neat, keep it tidy. 3.5 seconds the advantage at the end of the last lap, and
I think when he comes back down to our front straight, crossing the checker flag line, I think he will be about 4.5 to 5 seconds close, judging at the gap between the 2 cars.
Yeah, and the last lap for Helder Assenkow, our race leader, was 2:49.78 compared to David Chu with a 2:43.230. Here is Helder Assenkow, the race leader, car number 77, the Sonova D50 TCR, up towards the line. And it's going to be 1 lap to go at the end of this.
This is the longest lap for any driver in any race.
He'll be hearing every possible conceivable noise in the car. What was that? What did I hear there? Just getting the car to the checkered flag, and the huge amount of prestige and honour and pride that will go with a win at Macau. Helder Assenkow is on target for it.
7 seconds. 7 seconds seems quite comfortable. Wow. I think he would chill out in this lap and just, been praying in the cockpit at all.
You don't want to put the car under any stress. 7 seconds the advantage. 6.948 to be exact at the end of lap number 9. Helder Assenkow through.
You can see his
bar.
line is very, very conservative, just chilling out his pace and make sure the car gets through the checker flag and become the local hero to win the first race in this 64th Macau Grand Prix Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup.
Up San Francisco Hill goes the race leader, Helder Asenkao. Helder Asenkao, who was just outside the podium positions last year in the Sun City Group Chinese Racing Cup. He was fourth. That must be so frustrating, not being able to take the pride of being in a podium position. But what a way to come back, to get on the podium and to take a race win. Here he goes. He was pacey in second place. He battled away with David Chu for second place. He took second place away and then inherited the lead. And now the advantage at the end of the last lap, almost 7 seconds for Helder Asenkao. Car number 77, Helder Asenkao threads his way through the very tight and twisty section.
There's a spare marker in front of him that might block him.
Ooh,
that was smart.
That was too close.
That's number 9, Li Lin, looks like a mechanical trouble as well.
So a few mechanical woes during this race, maybe not surprising, bearing in mind quite a few of them for the first time of asking at the start collected a little bit of damage. So as the race has worn on, maybe some of these problems that we're seeing are a legacy of contact for the first time of asking at the start. Through for the final time, the Melco hairpin comes our race leader, car number 77, Helder Asenkao, and he can almost smell the podium.
Is smelling it right now.
Coming.
How special is it for a Macau driver to win at Macau, and especially the first race of the weekend? Perfect.
Huge pride it will be. Around the final couple of turns, a checkered flag is awaiting. Quick part of the circuit now on the final lap. Car number 77.
And the crowd of Cranston's are already cheering for him.
And quite right they should be. Car number 77, Helder Asenkao takes the checkered flag
and wins the Macau 64th Macau Grand Prix Sun City Chinese Racing Cup.
The first checkered flag of the weekend for the 64th Macau Grand Prix goes the way of a Macanese driver. Helder Asenkao takes the checkered flag. Second place goes to David Chu. And third place could well be the way of Brian Lee.
Is coming. Oh, he must be in tears. He's been dreaming being on the Macau podium since he was 16 when I knew him.
Really?
Yes.
That's great.
Absolutely super stuff for the local drivers. What pride